One, two. Ladies, you can start making me down now if you wish and find a seat. And any gents that are here as well.
exciting. Get ready to applaud the team with the multiple gold medals. They are just about to enter the room with my get organised. Please. AGM. To those of you that are here in real life and to also those virtually. It's been a long time coming for us to get together like this. Welcome to you all. You should have received a booklet with information as you came in, with apologies, obituaries, new and resigned clubs and ladies branch accounts. If you are joining us virtually, then you should have received them by email. Should you wish to address the meeting or you have a question, please use the facility on your screen if you're on the virtual screen, or make yourself known by raising your hand and state your name and club first. Someone will be manning the questions. That will be Janine. And Anne, I think, Anne is Anne at the back. She's going to come round the mic if you're wanting to ask anything. Okay, I would like to introduce the top table. I'm Melissa Maggie, President. We have Alison Taylor, Vice President. Maureen Parker, Junior Vice President. And we have Janine, who's our Honorary Treasurer. Also a huge welcome to all the past residents out there, in Nashville here and online today. Lovely to see you all. Today we also have Board Chairman Graham Lindsay over here, and RCCC President Susan Keglin, and we have Vice President Mike Thurston. As he goes, but he's not got his jacket on because he's working, but he is here, so we just thought we would mention him. And also to Bruce Crawford, our CEO. Welcome to you all. Apologies, you will find these in the booklet. If anybody else has any more apologies, can you see us at the end? But I think our team at the door has got them, so thank you to Anne, Alison and Mary for doing the needful there. In memoriam is also in your booklet of those who have sadly passed away. Can we take a moment to remember these colours and also to think of those who have suffered during this long and ongoing pandemic? Thank you. Thank you for that. I also meant to say to you, please make sure your phones are switched off. Oh, look at them all reaching for their phones, just in case. We now move to the minutes of the 61st Ladies Branch AGM, which was held on Zoom on the 11th of May 2021. These have been published online and I have no amendments moved by me. May I take these minutes as correct? Anybody got any comments? No? I would like to propose the adoption of these minutes. May I have a signature, please? Thank you, Corey. Any business arising from the minutes? Nope. Also in your booklet you've got new and resigned clubs as well. Now on to the President's report. And so began my year as President in these. Who is it? Stand up. Oh. Okay. I'll continue. And so began my year as President in these strange and ever-changing times. Although when I agreed to stand as Junior Vice President, I was assured that I would never have to be President as the restructuring of RCCC was in progress. I was happy with that. But here we are, Ladies Branch, still going strong, and my year as President is nearly over. But what a memorable year to be President. My first job was to attend my very first board meeting on Zoom and being introduced to all board members. The following week I had a meeting at Kearney House in person with Gail Monroe and Vice President Alison Taylor to organise the draw for Henson Bishop Playhouse, which went smoothly, thanks to Gail, and we had an entry of 79 teams, which understandably was down on the previous year, but still going ahead. At the end of July, we had our first LSD meeting on Zoom again and discussed various topics about the RCCC AGM, the structure review, and various competitions and the situation at the peak, to mention just a few. August was a quiet month in the world of curling, and then into September we had another LSD Zoom meeting and discussed my nomination to the board as Ladies Branch President. Opening Bosfield, Pre-Field Cup and National Curling Day and the situation at the peak, which Bruce was to inquire about, to mention a few. The first competition I attended was Asham's Under-21, which was well attended by 5 women's teams and 6 men's teams of enthusiastic young curlers at Greenacres. Because of the safety aspect, health-wise, for supporters and players, no spectators were allowed until semis and the final of the competition. It was great to see all these keen curlers back on the ice, and Greenacres did a great job with winners Team Henderson and Team Strawborn. Also in September, saw the USA outgoing tour, hoping that their trip would still be going ahead in January 2022, but realistically thinking it would not be until October, November 22. Another board meeting was held on Zoom on the 29th of September. At this meeting, it was agreed that I be co-opted onto the board as an individual, not as Ladies Branch President. and with a remit to work with the board to bring everyone together. 2nd of October saw under 14 slams at quarter, which was supported by eager youngsters in various combinations, mixed and some all girls and some all boys teams, and enthusiastic parents. Well done to Team Rutherford from Kinross who won the day. Ladies branch had their October meeting at Porter Indoor Sports, followed by the opening Bonsfield with guests, which was great being able to have a get together and meet and travel after such a long stint. Bruce Crawford also announced at the meeting that I would be a co-opted director onto the board until the AGM in August 22. Kate Caithness very kindly came along and presented the prizes. Alison Taylor organised the curling format, which went down well. I attended another under-21 slams, which was held at the Creek on the 22nd and 24th of October. 5 women's teams and 10 men's teams took part, with the winners being Team Monroe and Team Craig. This event was also attended by Hannah Miley, the Commonwealth 400 individual medley champion, to inspire girls and young women to aim high in achieving their goals in whatever they do. It was also open to boys, but they gave it a bye. This girls in Pearl was sponsored by the Animal from Legacy. Alison Taylor and myself took part in the event, and I hope the girls took something valuable away from it. We had our first joint meeting of the ASC, with the ASC at Perth Icery, in person and by Zoom on the 26th of October. It was a constructive meeting discussing various items such as working closer together as ASC, LSC and the board, sharing ideas and information with the effects of COVID on ice rinks and curlers numbers. After lunch, the Peacefield Cup was played for and won by the ASC. Interesting games. At the beginning of November, Susan, Andrew Kerr and myself did the selection of the teams for the Four Nations on Zoom, but this changed again because of Big C. The National Curling Day was organised for the 15th of November and was advertised far and wide to promote our beloved game to the masses via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, radio and TV. There has been talk of it being an annual event. That's still to kind of be definitely decided. Another board meeting was held on Zoom 16th of November, and then at the end of that week it was up to Aberdeen to see the under-14 slams where 8 teams competed, and the winners on the day were Team Rankin from Elgin. All teams were delighted as they all received the prize. Starting on the same day as the Scottish Juniors was the European Championship, but sadly there were no spectators. It was great to watch and a fantastic result for Team Muirhead and Team Mowat. Double goals and amazing achievement for both teams, making us colours at home so proud of our team, and that was just the start. The Scottish Juniors was up in Aberdeen, so one eye was on the ice in Aberdeen and one eye was on Internet. The weather wasn't the best, as a lot of trees and neighbourhoods can testify to that, but I went up to Aberdeen on the Thursday and then again on the Saturday and Sunday for the playoffs. We'll still be able to view the Europeans, thank you Aberdeen Icery. There were 5 ladies teams and 9 men's teams, with the winners being Team Henderson and Team Craig, who are both heading to Sweden this week on Thursday, to compete in the Junior World, which was postponed from February because again of the big space. Good luck to both teams. We will be there to support you and wave the Scottish flag. The LSC had a meeting in December, 7th of December at the Lane Golf Club and on Zoom to do the Henderson Bishop Draw. A joint meeting with the ESC followed, and Maggie Wilson giving a presentation on development and the way forward to increase membership. Following the announcement that Australia had opened up to families for visiting their families who are Australian citizens, we took the opportunity to go and visit our 2 girls and our new granddaughter who we hadn't met. Susan kindly agreed to cover my duties, as I had done the same for her earlier in the year. As it turned out, most of the Caroline ceased over Christmas and New Year anyway. On my return, the Four Nations was on the calendar but had to be postponed until March. Thankfully, AGM managed to oblige with another weekend in March. Maybe next year I'll get it, as it then clashed with the world in Canada for Alison and I. On to February, we're getting there, nobody's listening yet, are they? No. You keep an eye on them. On February, and the Masters got underway at Green Acres on the 3rd to the 6th of February with 11 women's teams and 12 men's teams competing. A good time was had by all, and the women's final came down to a measure with the last stone, the last end, and going in Team Prentice's favour. But a great game, and so close, Team Barbara Waterworth got it. Team Start won the men's game. I then headed down to Stranraer to play the Liver for the first time. Woohoo! With some of the USA Tour ladies, which was great fun, and their entries boosted the numbers at the Liver, and it was great to meet some of the USA Tour ladies. Another LSC ladies meeting was held by Zoom on the 15th February with the progress of the mortar competitions upcoming in the Bishop and Corker Indoor Sports, new dates for the whole Four Nations, and the confirmed dates for the US Tour all being discussed. Next up was the seniors at Lanarkshire Ice from the 17th to the 20th of February. The battle for the title was between Team Glenn and Team Locker, and the winners receiving the gold medal were Team Locker or Team Mills, whichever. There's Mary. There you are. The men's final was Team Prentice against Team Philip Wilson, with Team Prentice picking up the gold. Both winning teams had won 2 years previously, but didn't get the opportunity to go to the World, but they did this year. Team Locker/Mill played their little socks off and came home with the bronze medal. Very well done, team. We'll hear from Mary shortly. We were also treated to bibs from Jen and Hayley's parents to celebrate the Olympians win too. Thank you very much. And that was at Preston on Sunday morning. Yes? Fully alive. On Tuesday the 22nd, there was a great welcome waiting at Edinburgh Airport for the Olympic champions as they stepped back onto Scottish soil. So we could come and welcome them home and see their gold and silver medals in real life. Susan Kenley, Bruce Robert, Alison Taylor and myself were all there, along with many family members and friends. What a great achievement from them all, and I certainly had a few early mornings and late nights watching these games on the TV. From my couch, sometimes a bit small, maybe falling asleep, but I woke up to see the final, the important bit. But yeah, it was tricky for the timing, but great to watch. Well done. Jen and Bruce fought hard in their mixed doubles game, but were disappointed to come home empty-handed. We all felt your pain, but I had watched your performances too. It was good. The next day, there followed a joint meeting of ASC and LSC when Fraser Montgomery, an independent director of Scottish Curling, joined us. He joined the board in September 21. Kate also joined us, having just returned from Beijing. Fraser talked about his role on the board and also about getting the board minutes up onto the website 2 weeks after the meeting. The selection process for the World Championship was also discussed. Back down to Jump 3 for the Scottish Curling Championships from the 21st to the 27th of February, where 6 men's teams and 6 women's teams took part. They all battled it out and it came down to the final with Team Henderson playing Team Morrison and Team Morrison taking the title as Scottish champions. I presented Team Patterson with their gold and Team White with their silvers as I was heading back up to Border to get ready for the Henderson Bishop the next day. Susan presented the women with their medals. We also attended a dinner hosted by Dumfries Ice Bowl and Dumfries and Gallery Council, which was a great night. Also while we were there, some of the non-curling board members and others tried curling. We also had a wee social with the board, ASC and LSC members while watching the curling. Nearly there. 29th of February to the 3rd of March was the Henderson Bishop here. With all fingers and toes crossed and no teams had to pull out because of the big sea, the competition began with all 20 teams intact. I was wearing two hats here as I was a member of the organising team and as president. Sadly, our committee were the ones who were depleted in numbers. With Janine here first, she didn't even get to the competition, followed by Sheila, our president, and then Carolyn, and then Janet, who at least made it to the dinner. There was only 6 of us, and that was 4 of them down. But we survived. Alison was also unable to attend. Shirley, Jean, Janet, and myself all had a great time with Fred Macaulay and Mr. and Mrs. Henderson Bishop at the top table, along with Susan, Mike, and Adrian White. We were equally entertained by various teams, and I think even Fred was impressed. Fred was also delighted to meet the mummies of the Olympians and had that picture taken with them, didn't he? You mummies? Yes. I wonder what he's done with the picture. The finals were between Greenacres and Stranraer for High Road, with Stranraer winning the Henderson Bishop Trophy, and the Cherry Stone was between Forfar 1 and Murrayfield 2, with Murrayfield winning the trophy. The Morton finals were to be next, but these had to be postponed because of ice issues at Lanarkshire. More on this later. Alison and I headed off to Canada, and things weren't going so well. Alison and I had sent off all enthusiastic and eager to support Team Morrison in the World in Prince George. Having arrived on Saturday in Prince George, we went along and cheered on the team of 3, along with Morna and David Aiken and Fiona Morrison. We made a lot of noise for just the 5 of us. Sunday morning's game was tricky but exciting, and they scored 3 at 3 ends but sadly lost by 1 shot, but still with their team of 3. Alison and I then went back to our hotel for a rest as we had a long journey, and when we woke up from our snooze, we discovered that Team Scotland had sadly pulled out of the competition because of more big sea issues. Our hearts sank. Not for us, but for the girls. What a disappointment for them. But you'll hear their report shortly. We decided to head back to the ice arena and watch the other games, but it had all gone a bit flat for us too. The supporters had no one to support. We stayed and did a bit of socialising in the arena, but even that was limited. We did talk to Victor, who was a member of the Portugal team for the World European Curling Championship Ski Division in Lithuania, and his coach was Fiona Aiken's sister. They won bronze. We were keeping an eye on them. Well, Alison was keeping an eye on them on Facebook. They won bronze. They did very well. We played giant Jenga, tabletop curling, and Alison and how we sneaky feet on a New Holland tractor, much to our excitement. I've even got pictures to show you if you want. The supporters were all a bit stressed with the situation, so we all decided to head out together, along with Gina and Mark Monroe for supper. Mark had brought his bagpipes all the way out to Canada with him, and sadly never got to play them. Alison and I then decided to take a road trip to Jasper, but unfortunately I didn't have my driving licence with me, but Alison did. Chauffeur, that's a ready. We went to pick up the vehicle that was booked, but they only had a big beast of a 7-seater truck, a Ford GMC. It was a beast, which Alison and I almost needed a leggy up to get into. It was that big. Nothing daunted, Alison took the wheel and we were off. She did a great job. We had a lovely time in Jasper, gorge touring, sniffing out a moose or two, and generally exploring the area. And on our last night, we walked into the same restaurant but Aikens and Mr. Monroe. Small world. It was that night that I started sneezing and couldn't stop and felt miserable. After my chauffeur drove all the way back to Prince George, I did a test and yes, positive. Alison quickly organised another room for herself and had to organise food for herself and her invalid. She had now turned into my carer, getting breakfast and anything else I required, and now she has to go in alone to watch the curling at the arena and still Team Aiken at return. Quite a few friends helped me while we had hours of solitude by calling on WhatsApp, which was very kind and much appreciated. I had a great view of the curling on Canadian TV, but just the Canadian games. But anyway, it was at least I got to see some curling. On the Monday, after the final day, Alison headed off home with Gina and Mark, and I was left with PG to await a clear test. Thanks to Scottish Curling and VPL Travel, I managed to get flights back home on Wednesday in one piece, albeit a little delayed in Vancouver, but home safely. On the 2nd and 3rd of April, the last of our under-17 slams were held at Quarter with many prizes being presented. Team Carson being overall winners. Team Patterson did well in Las Vegas, making it to the playoffs, and that was more late nights and early mornings, but sadly no men's final, but coming home with a head held high. Another LSC Zoom meeting, which discussed the invitations from Sweden for an outgoing tour in October 22, Morton Group, the AGM and the JVP nominations. Quickly followed by another board meeting on Zoom on the 12th of April, minutes to follow on the Scottish Curling website. Soon. And to top off the year, the Senior World and the World Mixed Doubles took place in Geneva, and the teams came home with another gold for Bobby and Eve, and bronze for Mary, Katie, Wendy, and Edith. And Jackie. Well done to you all. The senior men did a great job too, including Mike and Stephen Spears altogether. He's maybe listening. Anyway, the senior men did a great job, but sadly no medals to bring home. The World Wheelchair Mixed Doubles Curling Championship was next, and they had some great games, but sadly no medals. I'm sure they had a great time. If you feel you haven't had enough information from me today, please feel free to check out Ladies Branch Facebook page or the Scottish Curling website under Ladies Branch to see what's been going on. Now it gives me great pleasure to say a huge thank you to my executive, Alison, Maureen and Janine, who were always at the end of the phone for advice or help with technical problems or whatever problem or query came up. I couldn't have done it without you all. Thank you. A special thank you to Alison for her company in Canada and being my companion, chauffeur and nursemaid. It was above and beyond your job description. We had a blast. To the LSC, you are a big part of the team too, and the executives can't do their job without your help. Without help from you taking the information back to your Irish. It's all in the communication, and I thank you all for doing your part for Scottish Curling. It's been a pleasure to get to know you all, and thank you for all your hard work. Thank you also to Kate Gamehead, and I know she is disappointed that she couldn't be here today, as it's her local ice rink too. She's always at the end of the phone or WhatsApp if I had any issues. Now, most of you will probably know that she's done 12 years as world president, and she's about to give up. So she was hoping to be along here today, but she's got another meeting somewhere more exciting. So she's always busy, but she'll soon be more free. Switzerland or Barbania, I'm not sure what she would go for. Anyway, she sends her apologies. Thank you also to Gail Monroe for her help and advice too. I'm glad I eventually got down to Stringgrass Curl this year. That was my first time. Ooh. A big thank you too to Mike and Sandra and all the Scottish Curling staff who have helped with many things along the way. Also to my curling club for Birmingham and Forth ladies, and all those who have been at the end of the phone or put me up for a night or wine and dine me when in the neighbourhood. I thank you. You know who you are. Susan Kenley, congratulations on nearing the end of your year as First Lady President of RCCC, and I've enjoyed getting to know you and working together for the good of curling. Let's hope that next year the world and our beloved sport is in a better place and life will keep moving back to normality. I have thoroughly enjoyed the honour of being President and wish Alison and our new team all the best for their year together. They will do a great job. Last but not least, and I know he's not here, but I've got to say thank you to my husband Graham, who is not here, but he's helping because he's entertaining some curling friends' husbands on the golf course. He does like to entertain, and as Bruce and Susan can confirm, I'm not saying what he said, sorry, I'm not saying that word. They will do, he enjoys these trips out to Tiptree. But he is looking forward to him being my first priority in North Scottish curling. It's been my honour and my privilege to be President, and I thank you all for being part of it. Thank you. We'll now move on to the Treasurer's report.
President Lillian, fellow Covers again, it's much pleasure in presenting the Treasurer's report and annual accounts for the year end of 30th April 2022. And you should have a copy of the accounts in your pack, but you might need one to find one to read them. We've made a deficit this year of just under £300, although the cost for the process of the Scottish Lake is not yet been invoiced, and that will fall into the coming year. We've done quite well this year for merchandise, thanks to the bulk sales of tea towels to the latest USA tour, and to the cards, which have already covered their own costs. We have a number of packs in stock, as you can see, and the sales from these will be pure profit. We also have to thank Lillian for gifting the design rights of the cards to the latest branch. Our other main source of income from the year is from the International Fund donation, and thanks to all the centres who made their contribution. Apart from the purchase of the cards that I've already spoken about, the only other more unusual item of expenditure was for the Morrison's final bid. It's usually contained within the Morrison bid, but as we know this year, we had to get Murrayfield to save the day for the Morrison final, so it felt only fair that the latest branch paid for the final bid in this instance. I think that's just about it in terms of the Treasurer's report. Everything else is pretty normal. My thanks to Nicola, as always, for her support, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. Just check if nobody's asking online. No? Well, if there's no questions, can I just propose the account? Can I have a seconder? Okay? No. Thank you, Janine. What's that? No, nothing? Nothing. We now move on to the report from the CEO, Bruce Crawford.
Good afternoon, President Lillian, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for inviting me to join your AGM today here at Forth to report on the business of the RCCC over the last year. It's great to see so many members here in person after 2 years' absence. I'd like to start by expressing my thanks to Lillian and those from the whole board for your contribution to Scottish curling over this last challenging year. As the sport has emerged from lockdown, you've helped us as we move forward. It's not been an easy year for you, and I wish you a healthy and happy future. Following the last AGM in June 21, we've continued to put the health and well-being of our members at the forefront of our plan. Our priority at the start of the year the season, to work with the ice rinks to ensure that the environment is safe for people to return to play curling, to reconnect with friends, and to use curling to help people find normality in their lives. The board deliberately focused on supporting our existing members, promoting the sport to new people so they might try curling, sign up to play, and fall in love with the game. New initiatives like the radio campaign, the National Curling Day, and supporting the growth of the sport on the back of the European double gold success with our Olympic team's gold and silver all helped to achieve our objectives. I'd like to thank all of the Scottish curling staff this last year. The Olympic season is always a busy one, and this year was busier than ever. I'm sure you all appreciate the work they put in, along with the countless volunteers who help keep curling as a national success. We currently have 274 fewer email numbers than we did last year, but still about 36% of the overall membership is female. Our development team work with you to create ways that we can increase female participation in curling. Often the best results start closest to home. I'm personally organising an introduction to curling session for my neighbours at the start of the next season, and I want to encourage all members to help promote the sport and get new people involved. Bring your friends and neighbours to your local ice rink and let them see what they've been missing. This last season, 12 of our women members reached 50 years of membership at the RCCC and should be congratulated on their commitment and participation in the sport. They're Sheila Arkley, Margaret Allen, Margaret Manley, Janet McMillan, Leslie McDonald, Kathleen Scott, who is here today. Marianne McLeod, Kathleen Forster, Linda Kirkpatrick, Marnie Urick, Margaret Wright, and Beryl Niven. This season, 2 women joined the select group of curlers who have won an 8 award this last season. Erin Forsyth and Louise Kerr, as members of the mixed team from Glasgow Curling Club, achieved this in the Bigger Cup on the 2nd of February. This year we ran 36 courses with 528 attendees, a couple of hundred more than the previous year, of which 225 were female, so 42% of the participants in our training courses were female, which is a really good commitment from the women of curling. In June 2021, we witnessed history being made when Susan Kesley became the first woman to hold the position of president of the Royal Caledonian Curling Club. Susan has had a busy year, like all of the presidents before her, and it's great to see her here today at the Ladies Branch AGM. She's done a great job. Having blazed the trail by being the first woman as the RCCC president, it's now time to find the next woman to follow in Susan's footsteps. There'll be 2 men as the next 2 presidents, so I'd like to challenge you with finding a volunteer to come forward and stand next spring when we are looking for the next vice president who will become president in 2024-25. We're not leaving this room until somebody volunteers. History was also written this season by our top female athletes, Eve, Vicky, Jen, Hayley and Millie, becoming European and Olympic champions in the same season. Eve also secured another World Championship title in the mixed doubles with Bobby Lammy just a few days ago. A remarkable season from such a talented group of Scottish curlers. They have inspired thousands of people who have come forward to try the sport all over Scotland, created a wider fan base, and along with our European champions and Olympic silver medal winning men's team, have been outstanding ambassadors for the sport. Well done to them and all the people who helped them on their journey to the top. from such outstanding success has been achieved this year. The national broadcasters at the BBC doubled the amount of coverage that they gave the Scottish Curling Championships in February, from 4 games to 8. However, they did not continue that level of coverage at any of the 3 major World Championships at the tail end of the season, even when gold medals were won by the mixed doubles team in Geneva. As a sport, we continue to punch above our weight on the field of play, but less successful sports continue to hog the media coverage in Scotland, and we will do all we can to address the imbalance and celebrate the success of Scotland's oldest and most successful team sport. We all face increasing energy costs in the year ahead, and ice rinks will find the season even more challenging than ever before. Please be part of the solution and the success generated by the wonderful Olympic champions. To help grow the game, bring your friends along and share your love of curling. Don't keep it to yourself, and that way it will contribute to the future generations to enjoy the sport. Lastly, Lillian, thank you once again for inviting me to join you in your meeting today and letting me share some of the progress we've made as an organisation and achievements of women in our membership this last year. I look forward to continuing to work with the Ladies Branch under the leadership of Alison to pursue the Ladies Branch objectives to encourage more women to play curling and to promote friendship among women curlers worldwide. Thank you. If you have any questions about RCCC business?
Anybody want to ask Bruce anything at all? No. Nobody's got any questions? No. Okay. Right, the next thing is Scottish Women's Curling Championship. As I said earlier, it took place in February in Dumfries from the 21st to the 27th. 6 teams took part. Team Morrison, Blair, Cannon, Farmer and McDonald and Henderson. After a hard-fought week, Team Morrison played Henderson in the final and Team Morrison won. Unfortunately, Rebecca can't be, or any of the girls can't be here, so can I call on President Maureen Parker to read her Rebecca Centre's report. The World Women's Championship was a very different experience from what we all expected. We were so honoured and excited to be selected as Team Scotland just a few weeks before the championship was due to take place. We flew out to Vancouver, training camp and all planned out. Unfortunately, on the first morning, right before we were due to practice, Rebecca tested positive for COVID, and that was where the week took a nasty turn. We kept up the hard work with the rest of the team, training extra hard on new positions, and we were ready to have Faye on the ice with us. Sadly, Faye also ended up contracting COVID before the event began. Because of this, we had to make changes, and we were lucky enough that Beth Farmer dropped everything in Scotland and flew out to join us with just 3 hours notice. We started the event with just 3 players and suffered 2 losses to Switzerland and Czech Republic. Beth arrived and we were ready to take on Denmark with the full team, but this is when the event ended for us with 2 more people catching COVID. We would have loved to have had the opportunity to play all of the games, but we had to make the decision to pull out and protect the other teams. Obviously, this is not the experience we'd hoped for, but we have to learn a lot about resilience and teamwork, and are so excited for the next World's opportunity that may come our way. Thank you, Lloyd. The Scottish Junior World Championship. This was held in Aberdeen, the 23rd to 28th of November. 5 teams took part, with the final being between Team Henderson and Team Blair. Team Henderson coming through to be the winners. Team Henderson are just about to head off to Sweden, and so they're unfortunately not here. So again, Maureen's going to read their report. Thank you. End of the this report. We started the season as a new team and our first junior event was the Scottish Under-21s at Greenacre. We concluded our first event with a win, not dropping a single game. For our next competition, we headed off to Switzerland to play the European Junior Curling Tour. This was a high standard of competition. We were playing against teams who would be playing at the World Juniors. Throughout this competition, we lost only one game in the round robin, but bounced back throughout the playoff stages, winning this competition. Then we progressed to playing the Murrayfield Under-21s, winning all our games through the round robin, and then playing the final game against Sweden, where we edged the win in an extra end. European Junior Curling Tour in Prague followed, which was also a strong field of competition. We also met challenging ice conditions. However, a strong teamwork and communication brought us out on top, allowing us to beat the Norwegian junior team to win. We had a short break before the Scottish Junior Championship in Aberdeen, but this gave us time to build on the foundations we had created throughout the season. Dropping one game through the round robin, we qualified as the top team. Through the playoff stages, we had two good games against Team Blair and managed to secure the final in 8 ends. After losing out on competing in the World Junior Championship in Finland due to an outbreak of COVID, we managed to secure a late entry into the Bernese Ladies Cup. This was the ladies' event, but we were up for the challenge. Winning games against teams Shorey, Muller and Weiss, sorry if that pronunciation is not good, allowed us to progress to the playoff stage where we met Morrison. Team Morrison, unfortunately, we lost to, meaning we finished 5th at our first ladies' event. Our last competition of the season was the Scottish Ladies, where we were excited to prove ourselves as a junior team. We finished second top out of all the teams, meaning we played a 1-2 against Team Morrison, where we were on the losing side. But we bounced back, winning the semi-final against Team McDonald, and again, unfortunately, losing the final to Team Morrison. A good but disappointing loss. A few weeks after the Scottish Ladies, we received a phone call asking us if we would be happy to compete at the World Junior Championships, as a place has become available. We were all ecstatic and couldn't believe we were being given this opportunity after the disappointment of the World Juniors B being cancelled. Since then, we have capitalised on all our time by having training sessions with our 5th man, Robin Mitchell, and ensuring we can perform as well as we can. We are all very excited to fly out to Sweden this Thursday to represent Scotland at the World Junior Championships. Thank you, Maureen. We now move on to the Senior World Championships. Maureen, can you come up, please? Thank you for being here. Where's your medal? In your pocket, we want to see it. No, well, but it's very nice, very nice. Okay, bear with me. A great deal has changed since my first trip to World Championship in 1991. The hairstyle, the hair colour, the waistline, and the hot flushes to name but a few. In 1991, we travelled in ankle-length tartan skirts, blouses and our blazers. This year, we wore Scottish curling t-shirts, boots and leggings. I know which outfit was more comfortable to travel, not what to use our bag. Although many things have changed, the excitement and pride we felt setting off to represent Scotland was exactly the same as it had been all those years ago. Our early start on Thursday the 21st of April meant we had time to unpack and do some sightseeing in Geneva before dinner. We bumped into Eve and Bowie and the mixed double support team and enjoyed the refreshment with them in the afternoon sunshine. On Friday the 22nd, we had our first visit to the Senior Championship Curling Hall and the mixed doubles arena. Both looked fabulous. Our excitement was building. We saw some of our opposition and donned our playing kit for the first time.
We had the opportunity to practice on all the sheets. The ice was very swingy and a great space. We found a lovely restaurant near our hotel. We ate well and we had an early night ahead of our first game the following morning at 8 a.m. Saturday 23rd, Game 1. Our first game was against Canada. No easing ourselves into the competition. Kate and I were throwing the last four draws, and when my turn came, my right leg was doing a great impression of Elvis Presley. Much of it is today. We settled into the ice conditions and our game quicker than the Canadians and had a 3-1 lead at the halfway point. We kept the pressure on the Canadians and secured the win with 4 in the 7th set. I don't think any of us expected an 8-2 victory over Canada. We were delighted. The schedule of one game a day gave us plenty of time for sightseeing, and the weather was absolutely fantastic, sunny and warm. We made the most of our time off. We were either sightseeing, napping, eating, and or laughing. Sunday 24th, Game 2. Our second game was against Ireland, and the team included another 2 Canadians. We had a steady game, and although we lost the 2 in the third end, we rallied to score in the 4th, 5th, and 6th ends to win 10-2. We were pleased to back up the win against Canada with a strong performance. Monday 25th, Game 3. We had a long wait before our third game against Italy at 8 p.m. Luckily for me, the girls continued to play really well. We stole singles in the early innings, and although we lost a 3 in the 4th end tied game, we eventually ran Italy out stones in the 8th end to win 9-5. Halfway through the round robin and things were going well. Tuesday 26th, Game 4. The game against the Czech Republic was our toughest so far. Both teams were only able to score one with the hammer and we each stole a single point. At the halfway point, the score was tied at 2-2. We were one down playing the last end, but set up the end perfectly, and when their skate came to speak with the last score, they drew for the required 2 and won the game 5-4. Much relieved, we set our sights on the next game. Wednesday 27th, Game 5. We had another early start, this time against Denmark. This was an important game for us as a win would qualify us for the playoff stages. We got off to a great start with a 3 in the first end and really never looked back. We got the win 11-2 after 6 ends. It was an amazing feeling to be qualified with the game in hand. Other results meant we knew before our last round robin game against Sweden that we would qualify top of our section and go straight to the semi-final. We've been lucky to have support in Geneva from Edith's husband Eric, not only the men's team, but also their wives and our dear friends Emma and Rob Niven for the early part of the competition. The Scottish support increased dramatically in size and in volume with the arrival on Wednesday afternoon of Katie and my partners John and Mark, my sisters Karen and Claire, and our friends Rachel and Billy. Thursday 28th, Game 6. The viewing area was packed when we played Sweden. We even had 2 gold medal winning Olympians with Nora and Eve in the crowd. I felt the pressure. It was a very cagey game with score 2-2 after 4 innings. We lost a steal of 1 in the 5th inning, and I'm sure the supporters were worried. However, we finished strongly, scoring in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings to win 7-3. We had finished the round robin and were unbeaten. Who'd have thought? Another day to fill sightseeing as we waited to see who would win the quarterfinals to meet us in Finland in the semi-final at 7 p.m. Ireland looked to be in control, but Switzerland finished strongly and claimed the win. The USA got the better of Canada and would beat Finland. Friday 29th, semi-finals. I'd like to say I was cool, calm and collected stepping onto the ice, but that just wasn't the case. I'm sure we were all nervous, but we were also determined to give it our best. We started well, scoring a 2 in the first end, but unfortunately we didn't manage to maintain the pressure and gave up spares in the 4th and 5th ends. We fought back with 2s in the 6th and 8th ends to take the game to an extra end. I was confident, having made our 2 in the 8th, that we'd end up managing to steal in the 9th, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Christina played her stolen and the Supers held it well. Her shot just made it past the guard and removed our shot stolen for the win and their place in the final. We would have to regroup and rally for the bronze medal game, and we'd have to do it fast. I don't think any of us slept well that night. I certainly replayed the game in my mind, time and time again, unfortunately with the same result. Saturday the 30th, bronze medal game. It was an incredibly determined 5 who arrived at the rink the next morning. None of us wanted to go home empty-handed. The Finnish team, however, were obviously feeling the same way, and it was a very close game. We were 1 up at the halfway point and all square after 6 ends. We her shop, which was already lying in 4-2. It was close, but she left on the guard, and we stole another point for the 6-4 win in our bronze medal. You may have seen the photos. We were absolutely delighted. One of the nicest things about the seniors is the camaraderie. After the games, we sat with the opposition and enjoyed striking a chat with them. The Finnish ladies were happy to celebrate with us, which was really lovely. After a bite of lunch, we caught the last couple of ends of Jude and Bobby's final and joined in the cheering for their wins. We were honoured to have our medals presented in the mixed doubles arena by WCF President Kate Smith. What a feeling that was. The gala dinner at the Fairmont Hotel was a great way to end a terrific 10 days. Dancing the night away with old friends and new friends was fantastic. Just one word, RCCC. Personally, I can't thank Katie, Wendy and Edith enough for playing so well and supporting me during the Scottish and in Geneva as I stepped up to play last Open. My thanks must also go to Jackie, our superstar alternate/coach. Her support and words of wisdom and encouragement during and after the games was invaluable. All 5 of us played our part in winning the bronze, and I couldn't have asked to share the games with 4 better people. Collectively, we'd like to thank our sponsors, James McEwen and Son, G&M Mechanical Services Limited and Locklear Massage, our supporters in Geneva and our friends and family at home for their support, messages of encouragement and congratulations. Finally, our thanks also to the Royal Caledonian Curling Club, Scottish Curling, for their financial support to get us to Geneva. Thank you all.
Thank you for that, Mary. That was very interesting. We did feel your pain, and we hoped you would come home with a medal, and you did. So that's good. The Scottish Masters Championship was won by Gwen Prentice, Marion Craig, Helen Drummond, and Rona Fleming. Can I ask Helen Drummond to come and say a few words, please?
A total of 12 ladies entered the Scottish Masters this year, which was the largest entry they've ever had, which is absolutely first class. Unfortunately, due to illness, one of the teams pulled out. This left us 11 teams. And who are Team Prentice? Well, we're like, I would say, old slippers. We just flop about, we just rub along, and here we go. So Team Prentice, Gwen, Marion, Rona and myself have been together for a good few years. And along the way we've picked up 3 silver medals from seniors and masters. Would this be our year? We started our campaign with a feeling. Not too disappointing. So over the next 3 days we had some very tight games and some good wins. And in the end, we arrived at the final. Who was waiting for us? Barbara Watt and her young pups. Oh my goodness. And we knew that this was Barbara's 10 years since she won the seniors with her first senior team, which I think Maggie Barry's with, silver medalist. So the team talk after lunch to go to the final was with Gwen. Now Gwen, as most of you know, is quite straight speaking. And she said, well girls, I'm going to tell you this. So we sat there looking, thinking she was going to tell us we won. She said, I'm not going home with a bloody silver medal. So we thought, oh well, she means business. And we are not going to get into a drawing game with Barbara. So we came out of the blocks like a couple of racing snakes, and we got off to a great start. However, the 3 days started having an effect on Rona and her knees, and she was having difficulty striking. So guess what? Into the drawing game. So hence, this is why it took us to the last throw, the last end. All Gwen had to do was hit the stick. marrying Steve, and Rhoda and I thought we'd just do our own thing. The stone entered the house, hit the stone, and thought, oh, had it rolled too far. In the gallery are wonderful partners that we've had to stop off and watch for years, shouting at us, "What the? How are you doing it now?" Anyway, it was decided we needed a measure, but we made it. We love the Masters, and what we get out of the Masters is our fitness level goes up after 7 games. Reasonably good competitive carrying, fitness, well-being, but mainly good company. To make this competition better, I hope Scottish Carling will look at our serving monkeys, because there are a couple of issues, the timings of the sessions. And we as old ladies don't want to be playing at 8 o'clock on a Friday and Saturday night. However, all in all, we had a great 3 days and 7 games. And on the Monday, our bodies knew we were masters. Our bodies were absolutely shattered, but we had a gold medal and we were all delighted with it. Thanks very much. The Henderson Bishop Trophy. Kate Adams and her team won the Henderson Bishop, but unfortunately Kate is not here today because she's not well. She had planned to come. So can I just ask Maureen, who is obviously a Stranraer lady, to accept the trophy. No? Maureen, you're getting the trophy again? gives great pleasure to give the trophy to Maureen. Well done. I'm also matched the Austrian and had a great time inviting the teams to play in this. Nobody said no this year, it was great. Because I usually leave myself as reserved to play in the morning and nobody needed me this year. Anyway, we had 3 fantastic teams that played in the semi. We had a fantastic day in Edinburgh. Thank you to Rona for organising at short notice. I put it down to the bus trip. We hired a bus, Stranraer, and we had a great day. And the girls pulled it out in the final. So, well done to them. Even with the early start, I think they had a nap on the bus coming up the road. Over to the Women's International Championships. The European Curling Championships were won by Eve, Vicky, Jennifer, Haley and Millie, with coach Crispin Lindstrom. And came home after an amazing performance with gold medals. Can we have a huge appreciation again for Team European for welcome to perfectly. And getting that gold medal round our necks and hearing the national anthem proved that our hard work and determination as this new team was starting to pay off. It was a special moment, especially for Hayley, as this was her first ever Women's International Championship, and she came away with the win. I don't think many people can say that. We would like to thank all our coaches and support staff who were there with us
but in our power play we got a 3 in the fifth end, which kind of turned the momentum. And going into the last end, we were 1 up, and they had a shot for the win, which they only actually had about 12 seconds to play, so she was under a bit of pressure, and she literally missed it by, I'd say, a couple of millimetres. It went down to a measure, and I remember her saying, I think it's us, and that was him saying that we had won, but I didn't realise that, so I kind of basically ignored him and got ready for the extra end. Which he still was into. He's like, why were you not kind of getting ready to cheer at that? I was getting ready for the next end. Which was an amazing experience. It felt a great honour in winning the World Championship. It was, I think, the first for Scotland as mixed doubles, and it's great to have back-to-back wins with us and our Eve and Bobby as well the following year. So it was just a great honour to play with Scotland again and with Bruce. So yeah, I think that's all I have to remember of it. So thank you.
Now we come
ones are either better. On an representative team, immediate past President Lillian, past President, brothers and sister farmers, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to accept the office of President of the Ladies Branch of the Royal Caledonian Farmers Club. I feel very honoured to be given this opportunity to represent and to promote curling, and in particular women's curling.
definite highlight. Recognition must also go to Lillian's husband Graham for his unstinted support to her. Congratulations on a successful year, Lillian, and thank you on behalf of us all. Please accept the class president badge as a
Congratulations, Alison. You'll be a fine president, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you for the nomination as vice president. Thank you, Mary Ann, for your kind words and for seconding my nomination on behalf of Sister Laura Reichert. And thank you for all the messages of support from my club, Castle Kennedy, from Stranraer ladies and from Stranraer Reichert members. I'm honoured to be in this position and will endeavour to work for you strong ladies' branch which communicates well with its members, promotes curling and promotes friendship. I've spent my year as Junior Vice President listening into efficient ways that the Ladies Standing Committee conduct their business, where each ICE centre is represented and can share the challenges that face them. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Lillian for her hard work and steady hand, ensuring the ladies' branch is in a good position to go forward. It was not an easy year with the often disappointing effects COVID had on meetings and competitions. I'd also like to congratulate all our curlers on their fantastic achievements this season. It's a great honour to accept this post and this brooch, and I will do my best to support President Allison's increased membership, share information with LSC, and work closely with the ASC and Scottish Board of Curling. Thank you.
Fiona Hardy, Crockett Curling Club. President Allison, Vice President Moody, immediate past President Lillian, past President, Honorary Vice President Peel, sister and brother curlers, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure and an honour to second the proposal of Anne Johnson for Junior Vice President of the Ladies Standing Committee for the year 2022 to 2023. When I first met Anne 25 years ago, she mentioned she would like to try curling. And I said, come along to St. Go and I'll coach you. She's been a good friend and a teammate ever since. Anne is an enthusiastic and competitive curler and a great supporter of both Increase and Lock of the Ice Rink. And I'm confident that she will be a great asset to Ladies Branch. I, together with Increase Ladies Centre and all curlers at Increase, wish her well and pledge our support to her during her term in office. And acceptance speech. Honoured President Keith, Honoured Vice President Peel, President Allison, Vice President Moody, immediate past President Lillian, ladies and gentlemen, thank you Alison for the nomination to become Junior Vice President of Ladies Branch and to Fiona for seconding the nomination. I'm sorry that I am unable to attend the AGM this year. On saying that, I'm extremely honoured to take up this, look forward to work. In saying that, I am extremely honoured to take up this post and look forward to working with everyone involved over the next few years. Also, thank you to those who have sent messages of support and best wishes. After being introduced to curling 25 years ago, I can honestly say I became hooked on the game very quickly and have made many friends and have had lots of support over the years. I served on the Ladies Standing Committee whilst I was President of Lockerbie Ladies. This gave me an insight into the hard work that goes into organising competitions, incoming and outgoing tours, and many other events for all our members. Going forward, after our fantastic achievements from Team GB at the Winter Olympics, I hope we can work together in continuing to promote and encourage individuals to take up our sport while supporting our existing curlers.
Move on to any other business. There have been no presentation last Thursday.
Keep it nice and polished.
For any other business now. There have been no formal nominations given to me. Does anyone have anything they would like to discuss before I move on? No? Yes. I have one important and much I'm getting there. Wait a minute. One important and much rearranged event coming up that has not been mentioned is the outgoing USA tour. I'd like to ask Tour Captain Shirley James to bring us up to date with how the girls are doing with their preparations for October.
Thank you, President Alison, Past President Williams, other assistant curlers. I've been in this post for 3 years now. Unbelievably 3 years, so I'll just tell you what's been happening in those 3 years. As captain of the Scottish Women's Tour to USA 2022, which had been 2021, I'm immensely proud of all the members of our tour team who have shown great patience and determination against every obstacle placed in our way. Our initial dates of January 2019 process.